everybody, my name is Luck Malintz, and please welcome to my very first ever YouTube video. I'm extremely nervous, so if you comment, please be kind. Hopefully I will know what I'm doing. Let me apologize right away also for the low quality, but this is my first video. I really don't know what I'm doing, but I wanted to jump in to the lovely, lovely group of people, all the tarot people on YouTube. I just have enjoyed watching videos, and some of you feel like friends to me, and I just thought it would be nice if some of you knew who I was too. So here I am. I'm being really, really brave. What I'm doing today is answering Arwen's 15 questions. I love the tarot tags that go on. I love hearing answers to the same questions, and this is one of the more recent ones, even though there are a lot of older ones I would love to answer as well. Let's get started. Since I'm not showing my face, nobody really wants to see it anyway, but since I'm not showing my face, here's a deck of cards that I thought I would just flip through so that you could at least be entertained, since what I'm doing basically is just answering questions. This tarot deck it's one, I hope it's a kind of a rare deck and not a lot of you people have seen it before. It's the Fantasy Showcase Tarot. It was compiled and edited, I think the guy started like around 1969, 1970. It took him about 10 years. It was done by Bruce Pelth, and these are, a lot of these illustrations are by comic book artists, and some are other artists, but I found this in a comic book shop, so I just thought I'd flip through this while I answered questions so that you guys wouldn't get too bored. At least you have something cool to look at. So the first question is, what is your current favorite deck? And I'm working one-handed now because my cat jumped up in my lap. Oh, there you go, Washburn. Okay, he left. My favorite deck, this is the one I chose to talk about, even though I never really have a favorite deck. I very often have a group of cards that I'm working with. They're usually anywhere from 3 to 5, maybe a few more decks on my table or that I carry around with me. This deck is the Shamanette deck, and I just am absolutely in love with this deck. It's my newest deck right now. It's by Eden Galanter, and the illustrations are just beautiful. The colors are rich. I've edged it in black. It's got black borders, and I've edged it. The readings that I'm getting for it are deep and meaningful. I have ended up using this for my daily draws just because I'm just sort of obsessed with the deck right now. It's one I would highly recommend to anybody. Question number 2 is, what card are you right now? So since I'm being brave enough to put this video out, I'm also being brave enough to be honest. The card I am right now, unfortunately, is the Three of Swords. It's not the happiest of cards, but I'm being truthful. It's not anything anybody needs to feel sorry for me. The wheel turns for everybody, and this is just kind of where I'm at on the wheel right now, but I'm looking for things to get better. This is one of the things that I'm doing for myself, to be proactive about it. So, yeah, let's go to the next question. What card do you want to be? Question number 3. The card that I want to be is, I want to be the Star card right now. I want my hope back. I want that inspiration. I want to feel that humanity's wonderful. I want to be in a place where I'm looking forward to things. I want inspiration. So that's where I'm looking to be. Hopefully it won't take me too long to get there. Even if I did just, make everybody sad saying I was the Three of Swords. Question number 4. Draw a card. I'm using the Shamanette. I don't know that Anybody wants to really see me shuffle? I'm doing this upside down. That's why the cards are upside down. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to shuffle back here. You guys all know what shuffling looks like here. I'll flip another card. Take a look at this card. Ooh, that's beautiful. Okay, shuffle, 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 shuffle. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Okay, I'm picking a card from the deck. And, oh, look at this, look at this. I'm not even going to tell you, I'm going to just show you. It is the Star card. If the universe wants me to know something right now, I am feeling that the universe is telling me that all that hope and inspiration and all the good things I talked about, it's there for me. Later on, I'll probably do a 3-card draw and try to figure out how to get there. Where do I go? What are my next steps? But that's just lovely. The card that I hoped for was the card that the universe wanted me to know. So, yay! Okay, next question. Do you have cards you must like in order to work with the deck? Not really. Excuse me. Everybody's getting over that flu here in our house. I don't really have cards. There are cards that I like, and I really am drawn to the Moon card. I like to have an interesting Wheel of Fortune. I know this sounds weird, probably I'm the only one who's picked this card, but the Four of Pentacles, I really for the Four of Pentacles to be easier to read than you know, the Four of Pentacles, oh, look at that. This is a great example. There he is. He, like, look, this guy, he's greedy. I like for the Four of Pentacles to be a little bit harder to read than that. I don't want him, sometimes, you know, it means that money or possessions, material things flow through you, but they really don't have a grasp on you. And with some decks, it's harder to get that. I like to read the cards, as I think most readers probably do. You interconnect all the cards, and it's so much easier for me when it comes to the Four of Pentacles, if it doesn't look like that. And that's just one example. There are other cards that I like. But if there are bad cards in a deck, it does not stop me from using a deck. Probably if there are too many, it stops me, but not really. The next question number 7. Oh no, question number 6. I almost skipped one. Why tarot and not some other form of divination? That's kind of an easy question for me. I was an art major in college, and I'm just fascinated by how you take, the Four of Cups is a great example, how some people take that and they make it more the miser, and some people take it and they use it for a more inspirational or a more kindly approach to the same card. I like how some people take the meaning of a card and they change it completely through the artwork. I like how some people purposely change the meanings of the cards, and how with some people it's accidental. I like how some people make them all beautiful. I like how some people make them all fun and flippant. I love every deck. I like every deck I have. I like the Gummy Bear Tarot. I like all my darker decks. I like the vampire decks, and I like the black tarot deck, and I love them all. I love them all, and all the artists do that. I also am very attracted to, I like the construct of tarot, how it's, there's a major arcana and a minor arcana, and within the minor arcana there are 4 suits, and so it's very constructed, but when you lay all these cards out, that whole construct just it blows up, and there are different ways. Oh, this is a great example here. Like sometimes I did a reading the other day for myself, and even though this is a minor arcana card, just the placement that it was the most important card in the reading, even though there were major arcana cards in there. So I love the tarot. I love it. I love the setup. I love the artwork. I like the different things people have to say about it. Yeah, I love it. So the next question number 7, your first book. This is a copy of my first book, because my first book I lent away and I never got it back. It's A Complete Guide to the Tarot by Eden Gray. Frankly, when I bought this book, there were not a lot of other books around on tarot, so they were not easy to find. I miss my original copy. It was it smelled and it was yellowed, and it was wonderful. I love old books, and mine was. Question number 8. What person do you want to sit down with? What tarot person? If I can have anybody, I think I would have to pick Pamela Coleman Smith. I would just love to hear her stories, and I would love to know how many of the ideas that went into the tarot were her ideas. I know she was not as tightly watched over as Lady Frida Hera was. I'm sorry for the glare. It's like I said, hopefully the quality will get better. Oops. So yeah, I would love to sit down with Pixie and talk to her and find out what her original ideas were, and I would also like to know what colors she chose as opposed to what colors got used because of the printing methods of the time. It would just be fascinating. If I had to pick a live person, I really would have to sit down with Rachel Pollack. I was lucky enough to hear her speak years and years and years ago, but she's a wonderful person, and I bet there's not a tarot question out there that she couldn't answer. I just love her so much. And okay, question number 9 is one YouTube channel you watch and why? Wow, one. That's a toughie. Excuse me. I've been just watching a whole bunch. I like Kelly Bear. I like Elle from Sacred Seed. Kelly from The Truth and Story, and Avalon from Avalon's Spiritual Odyssey. I love watching all these people. Arwen, if I hadn't been watching Arwen, I wouldn't even have the bravery to be doing this. Actually, instead of one person I'd like to sit down with, I'd like to take all of YouTube, like 4 or 5 people at a time. I'd like to take you all out to lunch or for coffee or for some wine, or, and sit down and have tarot talks with everybody. I just love tarot. Question number 10, how many decks do you own? I don't know. Look at this card, the Knight of Wands. Isn't he wonderful? Is there too much glare? I feel so bad. It's like I said, first video, people, please be kind. I'll try to get better. I'll take a look at this, figure out what I can do. Also, I'm working under a fluorescent light, which helps nothing. I don't know how many decks I own right now. Several years ago at our house, there was a fire, and I lost a bunch of my decks. Most of them have been replaced. One thing that happened was they took every deck, and they were very good about keeping the decks together, but they took every deck and stuck it in a plastic bag. And I really am very, very ashamed of myself, because like I said, this has been several years ago, and I still have, I was going to say a bunch, not a bunch. I still have probably less than 1/5 of my decks, but I still have a number of decks in plastic bags, and I'm a little bit ashamed, but this is all truthful. I'm really putting myself out there today. You guys have no idea how brave I'm being. I own at least 180. If you count Oracle decks, I own more than 200. I am currently, though, I'm back into tarot. There's reasons why I have not. I found out that I'm a spoonie. Wow. Full disclosure here. But in the last couple of years, I've had to come to grips with the fact that I no longer read for other people. I no longer, I read for myself all the time, which is one of the questions, isn't it? Yeah, number 13. This story should wait until number 13, but skipping number 13 when I get there. I mostly read for myself now because one of the things when you're a spoonie is, we call it brain cloud here. We make fun of it and call it brain cloud, but my brain goes places sometimes, and I can't make appointments because I never know. Like, I can't say, okay, well, let's meet tomorrow at 2 and I'll read for you, because tomorrow at 2 I have no idea if my brain is going to be in a place where I can read. It just, I just never know. Excuse me, my coffee's under here, so, okay. You missed seeing my unicorn cup. So, that's a lot more information than I thought I was going to tell everybody. So, question number 11, do you mix tarot and oracle? Absolutely, yes, I do. Excuse me. I'm one of those people that after a reading, sometimes if you throw a different deck out there, whether it's another tarot deck or an oracle deck, and some of the questions that made no sense, sometimes you can clear them up with oracle cards. Sometimes if you throw an oracle card out at the end of a reading, it just really will bring the whole reading together, and it'll give people something to think about or a place to start. One of my favorites, if you get the transparent tarot, there's a transparent oracle that goes with it, and they're amazing to use together. So, question number 12. Have you ever created your own tarot card or tarot deck? Like I said, I was an art major, so over the years, yes, I've painted. Ooh, look at that. Look at this. Page of Swords, Jimi Hendrix. I don't know, he might be more of a magician, but that's wonderful. Excuse me. I've painted several Fool cards. I've painted a 3 of Swords. I have painted the Hanged Man at least once or twice. Yes, I have painted. One of the things I'm wanting to do to get back into tarot, since I can't read, I've missed tarot horribly. So one of the things that I'm doing is I'm thinking about tarot cards a lot lately. I'm doing this to get back into tarot cards. Because I miss reading. I miss interacting with people and reading for them. But to get back to answering the question that we're on, is I am going to start playing around with some tarot images and see. I have been told before that there should be a tarot deck in my style. I'm not so sure about that, but I'm going to play around with some images and see where it goes. Question number 13, do you read for yourself? Yes, I've already blabbed about that. Number 14, favorite question to be asked. I like those questions where people just want to know what some of us call the wisdom of the tarot, where they just ask what the tarot has for them. I like questions where people say, how do I get there? Or what do I need to know about this situation? Those are, I think, the most informative for people, and those are my favorite questions. The last question, wow, I have almost made it through, and I'm not shaking near as bad as I thought I would. The last question is the craziest thing that's ever happened to me while reading tarot. That's a tough one to answer. So many things happen when you read. One time I was reading for this person, and it was at an event, and this guy came up and sat down, and I was reading for him, and it was really kind of weird because the cards all looked kind of balanced, and I did not even make it halfway through the reading. We hadn't even dealt with not even half the cards, and all of a sudden I looked at him, and I said, "You didn't really come to me for a reading, did you?" And he smiled, and he said, "No." And he had come to me because he he was scoping me out. There was a group, I think, that had been interested in me for a while, and he was coming to see if I was the reader that people had said I was, or that maybe I had said I was. Look at that temperance card. Isn't it cool? Cool, 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 cool. So yeah, but whatever his test was, I think I passed it, because I wasn't even halfway through the reading. And I was like, oh, you didn't come to me for a reading. Yeah, and it's not a crazy thing that happened to me in one reading, that I've been laughed at, because it's like I said, I really do love tarot. And I get laughed at once in a while because I get so excited, and you lay out all these cards and you turn them all over, and my brain starts working really fast and interconnecting all these things. And I guess more than once I have blurted out, I can't wait to see what I'm going to say. And people think that's funny, but it's true. Oh, look at this. For anybody who has the cat tarot, or the cat people tarot, Karen Kuykendall. That's a piece of hers. This deck, I think, came out before, and I've wondered, did she get inspired by doing this and did a whole deck, or I would love to know that story. So yeah, I get laughed at a lot because I get excited about the tarot. I love all my decks. I like the ugly ones. I like the pretty ones. I think, oh, sorry for saying How many times have I said I bet I'll count this back and it'll be like 800 million times. So let me apologize for that. Hopefully I will get better. Here's the last card, the Fool card. Thank you so much. This will probably be up for several years before anybody even runs across it. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I don't know how to get it up there. Even if I don't make it up, I need to thank everybody who's come before me and put up tarot videos. You have inspired me, and you've made me brave. At least right now, 15 minutes when I watch this back, I don't know how I'm going to be feeling, but in this moment, I'm brave. Thank you very much, and lots of love to you all.